Welcome to our deep dive today. We're exploring a really unique perspective, one that kind of bridges finance and, well, human connection. Our source material comes from the Eva Jade Analyst Top 3 podcast series, specifically the first episode. And it introduces us to the founder, Eva Jade. So our mission here is pretty straightforward. We want to unpack who Eva Jade actually is, get into her, honestly, surprising philosophy that connects market trends with human relationships, and also explore what AnalystTop3.com is all about. We might find some real aha moments here, things that could actually shift how you look at investments, maybe even your own interactions. We're definitely going beyond the surface level today. Okay, so let's get into it. This story is quite something. First off, Eva Jade's origin, it really jumps out. She was born July 15th, 1995 in Miami, Florida. But her upbringing sounds, well, anything but typical. Her mother was Colombian, right? Fled a violent marriage, rebuilt her life in New York, incredible strength there. And in New York, she met Eva's father, a Jewish-American financial analyst, and a programmer too.
Yeah, and that mix, that's what's so fascinating. You've got these like totally contrasting worlds coming together. The passion and resilience from her mother's side, and then the logic, the analysis, the calculation from her father. That really formed who she is.
It sounds like it.
She actually talks about living between salsa music in the kitchen and stock charts on glowing monitors, literally. So from her dad, she got the analysis part. From her mom, the courage. And that balance, that's just crucial to her whole approach. It's not just background, it's fundamental.
It really shows how different influences can create something totally new, a unique perspective, don't you think?
Absolutely. It lets her connect dots. Most people wouldn't even see her on the same page.
Okay, so here's where it gets, I think, really interesting. Her path into finance. It wasn't exactly smooth sailing. She started trading pretty young, like 18, and, well, she failed, lost money.
And that failure, that experience, it was vital. It wasn't just, losing dollars and cents. She said she learned how markets breathe, learned how fear makes people sell low, greed makes them buy too late. Classic behavioral finance stuff, but learned the hard way.
Right, understanding the psychology.
Exactly. That became a cornerstone for her, understanding the human element behind the numbers. It's what sets her apart from people just like chasing luck or pure algorithms. She got the why.
But finance, for her, it seems like it's only part of the equation. She mentions this second calling. Said that alongside finance, she also studied relationships, the markets of the heart, which, sounds intriguing, maybe a bit out there.
It does at first glance, but if you connect the dots, it actually makes a lot of sense given her background. She took that same analytical lens from finance and applied it to love, to passion, to connection.
How does that work, practically speaking?
Well, she talks about seeing the same kinds of patterns, things like timing, momentum, resistance, and breakthrough. Sound familiar?
Yeah, those are market terms.
Exactly. She's literally decoding attraction, decoding relationships, the same way she decode a stock chart or a market cycle. The goal isn't to, make love robotic, but to bring clarity, to help men understand women understand themselves better using these analytical tools. It's pattern recognition in a different field.
And she has this quote from when she was 30 that just sums it all up. Markets and hearts, I win them both. And then adds, risk is where profit and passion are born. It's this idea of freedom, clarity, courage, everywhere in life.
That quote really captures it.
Linking financial risk and personal passion like that. It's powerful stuff. What really strikes you about that dual focus?
What stands out to me is how universal it makes these principles. It suggests that success, whether you're talking about investments or relationships, relies on similar things. Understanding behavior, assessing risk, seeing patterns, having the courage to act.
Or sometimes not to act, right? Discipline.
Precisely. It's not just about finance. She's saying that same structured thinking, that discipline you use for your portfolio, it can actually work wonders in understanding your personal life too. It's about being intentional, courageous.
Yeah.
Maybe even seeing relationships as investments in a way. Not cold, but, requiring active management.
Okay, so bringing this back to practical application, for someone looking for financial guidance now, what does all this lead to?
It leads to AnalystTop3.com, the platform she created. And her reasoning is pretty stark. She says, in the world of finance, truth is often buried under layers of interest. The big institutions, their reports, they might have agendas. Analyst Top 3 tries to cut through all that to give you something purer.
Yeah, cleaner data. And that begs the question, doesn't it? How do you find real truth when you're just swimming in information? And a lot of it might be biased.
So how does Analyst Top 3 tackle that? Their approach is pretty radical. They rank analysts purely on results, on accuracy, not on fame, not on which bank they work for. The key question is, did they see the future before it arrived? It's all about verifiable outcomes. Did their calls actually work out? Did they predict that turn? That's the metric.
Just the track record.
Just the track record. Quantifiable performance.
And then there's this twist, which I find fascinating. The top analysts, they appear on her podcast anonymously.
Right.
Why? Because, as she puts it, the name is not important. The truth is. And she also says sometimes telling the truth means protecting identity.
Which makes sense. These could be people inside big firms, right? Sharing insights that maybe don't align with the official company line. They might be risking their reputations, even their jobs, to give small investors a leg up, potentially at the expense of bigger players.
It really feels like it's trying to level the playing field, democratize that kind of high-level insight.
Yeah, and episode 1 of her podcast, which you mentioned, features the #1 analyst of that week.
The voice of insight, they call them, for privacy.
Exactly. And their stated mission, to break that barrier. So real insights aren't just for the elite few.
Making quality analysis accessible.
Mm-hmm. And the voice of insight points out why this is so powerful, especially for individual investors. Because transparency is rare in finance. It's so true. The rankings are just based on results. Who was right? Who gave value? That's it. It empowers you to trust the data, not just the loudest voice or the fanciest marketing. It's a filter.
A much-needed filter, probably. And for listeners, even experienced ones, the advice from this analyst is quite grounding. Start small, open a demo account, learn how risk feels.
That's great advice.
It sounds basic, but how does that apply if you're already experienced?
Well, it's not just for beginners. For someone experienced using a demo account or starting small with a new strategy, it's like a sandbox. You can test things out, maybe more aggressive ideas, without risking serious capital. Or just recalibrate your own feel for risk, especially after big market swings. It's about ongoing learning.
Makes sense. Constant refinement.
And the most crucial lesson, according to the voice of insight, isn't just about potential gains. It's how much you can lose without breaking discipline.
Ah, back to discipline.
Right back to it. And that connects perfectly with Eva's whole philosophy on risk and courage. It's about knowing your own psychological limits,
Right.
building that resilience, knowing you can stick to your plan even when things get scary. That's key in markets and, arguably, in life too. Mastering your reaction to uncertainty.
Wow. Okay, so this deep dive, it really shows how Eva Jade has managed to weave these threads together, the sharp analysis of finance, the deep understanding of human psychology, and then built something practical, AnalystTop3.com, focused on transparency and empowerment. It's quite a synthesis.
It really is. And if you step back and look at the bigger picture, it's a powerful reminder, isn't it? That knowledge isn't only power, it's profit and it's freedom. So, thinking about all this unique take on markets and hearts, what insights could you, listening right now, maybe apply in your own life? Perhaps it's about how you approach risk, not just financially, but personally, or how you search for real truth amidst all the noise. Maybe even looking for patterns in your own relationships, like spotting momentum or resistance. Could you apply that analytical courage?
It definitely gives you something to think about, applying market principles to the heart and heart principles to the market.
Something substantial to chew on, for sure.